The End of Secrets by Peter Mullen. Audio production by Noah King. Chapter 1. The Hunter.
Los Angeles, 2026. Aiden sat on the second story of the bar, one boot hooked on the lower rung of the wrought iron railing, a sweating glass of something amber and unnecessary at his elbow. Below him, the dance floor convulsed in waves of light and bass. The DJ was nothing to write home about. Basic beats with a few popular songs thrown into the mix and some clumsy transitions. No one cared. The beat was strong and the energy was real. Violet strobes sliced through artificial fog. Blue LEDs ran like veins through the walls. It was a classic example of style over substance, and the crowd loved every single minute of it. The club was called The Scene, and it had ambitions of being a hot party spot. To get there, it would need a better DJ, but this night was a success. The flashing lights and bar specials had brought the crowd in, and the lights and emotions kept them there. A lot of money had been spent making the place look like it hadn't spent a lot of money. Kayla had always told Aiden that art and fashion at their core were about how they made you feel. Getting people to feel anyway, even casual and relaxed, did not come easy. That was the trick with clubs like this. If it looked too polished, people didn't feel comfortable in their party clothes. The designers had carefully engineered imperfection. Patches of exposed brick interrupted long stretches of polished concrete. Pipes ran along the ceiling like the place had once been a factory instead of a real estate investment. The message was clear. We didn't plan it this way. We're just so effortlessly cool that even the parts where the paint peeled off look intentional. It was a lie, of course, but it was an expensive lie, and it was a good lie. The illusions that the designers had gone for did work, and it did a lot to create a mood. The DJ owed the designers a lot because he was not creating this mood on his own. The centerpiece of the whole operation hung over the main bar. Someone had taken hundreds of liquor bottles with brands ranging from respectable to criminal and wired them upside down into a massive chandelier. The soft amber lighting occasionally intercepted with the dance lighting to create an intricate and constantly changing design of light on the ceiling. The effect was amazing. The whole arrangement felt like a shrine to bad decisions. Upstairs was for VIPs. Black leather booths, mirrored columns, and just enough shadow to make secrets feel safe. Here is where the more expensive champagne flowed. It was a mix of business folks, well-to-do partiers, and some shady characters. Aiden was by far the shadiest of characters in the room. He had not been noticed. Aiden was never noticed in casual situations. Eyes slid off him like rain on glass. Bouncers waved him through with vague nods. Bartenders refilled his drink without ever remembering taking the order. If someone glanced up to see who had the balcony table, they'd register a shape. A man, probably. Details dissolved before they could stick. It wasn't invisibility. Aiden was simply irrelevant to most casual observers. Kayla had told him that when you were turned, a lot of your characteristics were enhanced in your second life. For Aiden, that had been his affinity for technology, but also his presence. In his first life, he had been someone who did not get noticed a lot. Now, though, it was an advantage he had. Aiden let his gaze drift across the dance floor. Unhurried, clinical. Women were his preference. Not for romance, not for conquest, just preference. Women just tasted better. But picking up women had never been a strength for Aiden. Being turned into a vampire had not done anything to help that. He was not ugly by any means, but his social awkwardness carried forth. Social cues and hints remained completely mysterious to him. But he had been a vampire now for 27 years, exactly how long he had lived before being turned. A man with over 50 years of experience in a 27-year-old body, this was his advantage. Being socially awkward had not changed on becoming a vampire, but fear had slipped away. Fear of rejection, fear of not being able to succeed, fear that you did not measure up to the ideals that you put forth for yourself. These had all left Aiden. Now, he looked at social games in a completely different light. Now, these were puzzles for him to figure out, and puzzles were something Aiden could do. Love, fate, people being meant for each other, these illusions were the curse of the young. Aiden knew better now. Aiden knew that to get what you wanted in the social game of life, you just had to do the work. He watched the currents of the room the way a seasoned sailor reads the water. Who was with friends, who was alone but pretending not to be, who was trying to be seen. All of these were social cues that Aiden once missed. It was not just missing cues, it was fear that held him back. It had still been hard for him until Linda came into his life. Linda had been able to educate him on social cues enough to make him far more effective. There. 5'4", red curls that caught the violet light and burned copper under the strobes. Her blue jeans were casual, with a thin belt that was not capable of doing a real belt's job. Her white top showed just a bit of midriff and a bit more cleavage. She stood near the bar with an uncomfortable expression. Her outfit said single, but her manner looked as if she were waiting for someone. Mixed signals were also something that had once confused Aiden. But Linda had helped him with that too. Mixed signals sometimes meant that the person themselves was confused, and that could lead to opportunity. Besides, redheads had been his favorite since before Kayla had turned him. Redheads were always worth investigating. Aiden leaned casually over the railing and snapped a photo. He zoomed in until her face filled the screen. She was beautiful, with sharp cheekbones, light freckles, and a smile that he was becoming more and more convinced was a half-hearted attempt at signaling that she was available. Aiden popped in his headphone and turned on his bone conduction mic. Even in the noise of the club, he could hear and be heard.
Linda, wake up. It's time for us to make some magic.
I'm ready, boss. The Team Supreme is at it again.
Linda wasn't some app or AI service that Aiden subscribed to. If other personal AI programs were nice, efficient Toyotas, Linda was a rocket ship. Linda ran on a huge cloud infrastructure that formed the backbone of all analytics and AI services for 2 global corporations. Her resources were vast and could scale to fit whatever her needs were. Linda was also Aiden's private assistant and his friend. Linda's monthly cloud bill could run into the millions. Kayla had never complained, even before Linda started to save Kayla's companies more money than she had cost. Aiden's word that a strong investment in AI early would be worth far more than the cost had been enough. Kayla had greenlit all of the AI projects that Aiden had suggested. Aiden had, of course, spent more money than he had first proposed. Kayla had not complained at all and had continued to greenlight everything he asked for. Kayla also knew that Linda served as Aiden's assistant, and that was just part of the budget. Aiden had generated so much revenue for Kayla that everything he did was simply approved.
Can you find out more information about my new friend I just took a picture of?
You got it, boss. Oh, my resources are being strained to recognize that you have a type.
Ah, my creation. Your boundless resources are being put to good work.
Somewhere in the ether, Linda sent data to a cloud service called Find Me. The Find Me service would take pictures and match them against public social media sites. Everyone was somewhere, even if it was not their own site.
All right, the data is out. Just give it a minute and I'll get you a summary.
Aiden had set up this service a few months back and had been impressed at what Find Me could do. It scraped public social feeds, found tagged photos, searched background databases for connections, and connected with marketing brokers. It was astonishing how much information people allowed to be public. A match had been found. Linda started reading to him as new information flashed on the screen.
Her name is Samantha Ballard. It looks like she moved to Los Angeles 2 years ago. Apparently, she was chasing the dream.
Another actress. What are the odds?
She's originally from Michigan. She went to Michigan State, but
It looks like she dropped out after 2 years.
Is she single?
Yes, from her social postings, she broke up with her boyfriend about a month ago.
And here she is, back out in the world.
Oh boy, this is kinda sad.
What's up?
Her last boyfriend was just awful. There were several breakups and they just kept trying. It looks like the final straw was when he slept with one of her friends.
Drama is simply a part of being young. You taught me that.
Drama may be a part of her life, but certainly not her professional life. It looks like she went to a lot of auditions, got no more than a few callbacks, and made her living as an extra.
Living the dream indeed.
You're right about that. Listen, this is not going to get much easier. You need to get down there and talk to her before some other idiot does.
Other idiot?
You caught that, did ya?
In a world of people that understood social interactions and could easily engage in conversation, Linda was Aiden's weapon. She gave him entry points, information, and strategies to identify and meet women. It's not that he had built Linda to pick up women, but she was exceedingly good at helping him do it.
Well, I'm on my way. It's time for you to play Cyrano.
This is what I live for, boss.
He made his way across the top floor to the stairs. The crowd split in front of him without anyone ever trying to get out of his way. It just happened. He was not intimidating, he was not insistent. The dancers just got out of his way as if to let anyone pass, only they all did it.
Samantha likes hard mixed drinks. Long Island iced teas seem to be her favorite. Don't ask what she wants. Order 2 and have the bartender give her one.
Aiden let himself be noticed as he approached her. He was well put together, tall and lean, but at a glance he was just another man in a crowded bar. He was tall enough to stand out slightly, lean without trying too hard, dark hair falling just a bit longer than was fashionable, and his features were smooth, almost forgettable if you weren't paying attention. But Linda had made sure people paid attention. The outfit was deliberate in a way Aiden never would have managed on his own. Dark jeans that actually fit, black boots that were new but looked like he wore them every day, a fitted jacket over a simple shirt that framed his shoulders and pulled the outfit together. Nothing flashy, nothing loud, just correct. He looked successful. He looked like he had his shit together. The outfit turned him from just another guy at the bar into someone interesting. Aiden didn't think about clothes that way. Linda did. He held up his hand to the bartender and got an immediate response. He could be noticed when he wanted. The bartender came to him and set a drink in front of him. She did the same to Samantha. Samantha looked at the bartender, who pointed to Aiden. Aiden picked up his own drink.
You look like you might have had a rough day or two. Please enjoy. If you'd like to be alone, just let me know. But I'd love a chance to see if we have anything in common.
She looked at him with a suspicious but curious smile. He could see her eyes traveling over him. The outfit was doing its work.
You know what? Sure. Have a seat.
Aiden introduced himself and then listened for prompts from Linda.
Let me guess. You're not local. You got pulled in by LA like a moth to a flame, chasing something it promised you.
She smiled impishly.
Oh, that's not a hard guess. Try again to impress me. Where am I from?
Aiden laughed while Linda gave him instructions.
Ooh, a challenge. I love it. Let me ask you 3 questions, and I'll give it my best.
Well, all right then, player. Give it a shot.
This seemed to be a game she enjoyed. Linda continued in Aiden's ear.
You're thirsty. You need a nice, refreshing carbonated drink. Now, how do you ask for it?
Oh, that's easy. I'd like a pop, please.
Alrighty then!
Aiden did his best Ace Ventura impression.
Question number 2. Well, it's not really a question. Tell me that you'd like to go out. Maybe take a ride in the car.
Well, I don't need to go out. And I don't want to go for a ride in the car. I think I'll just tell you. I'm not from Canada, Wisconsin, or Boston.
Good enough. And finally, question number 3. Is there a food that your state or city is famous for?
She looked at him with a false sense of aggravation, knowing that he had won her challenge.
Square pizza.
She said with a pouty expression.
Oh, I am definitely feeling Michigan.
Samantha seemed honestly disappointed that Aiden's questions had revealed her home state.
That was too easy.
Linda's instructions continued. Aiden used a sip of his drink to buy time enough to process what she said.
Well, I hope you're willing to forgive that I graduated from the Ohio State University.
No!
Hey, I was an engineering major. It was really hard. I never even made it to a football game.
Well,
Samantha made a show of really thinking it over.
I guess then, if you were just there for the education, it's a forgivable offense. So, if you're an engineering graduate, are you here for the acting scene like everyone else? Or are you here for a real job?
Acting? No, that's too hard for me. I don't know if I could take it.
It is really hard. So much bullshit, so much rejection.
Wait, you're an actress?
And there it was. Samantha laughed. Not a polite giggle, not a flirty giggle, a real laugh.
Hey, the accents didn't give it away. I worked really hard on those.
Bravo! Your performance was excellent.
She then smiled at him and took a drink.
So what do you do?
Software design, some hardware work, and if I go any further, it will sound really boring.
Do you mean boring to you, or just to most people?
Well, not to me. I kind of like it. But I've learned not to delve too deeply into the details of my job.
Does it make you happy? Was this what you dreamed about when you were little?
Linda piped up with urgency.
Stop. Take a drink and listen for a sec, boss.
Aiden did as he was instructed.
This one is critical. Her whole life has been about chasing this dream, and it is just an absolute hot mess. You have to align with her here, or you could break the deal.
Aiden lowered his drink.
I was not really blessed or cursed. I honestly don't know which it is. Enough to have grown up with a built-in passion of what I had to do for work. I love my family. I love to travel. I love to have real weekends where I can do things that almost always cost money. I was good enough at math and technology to make a good living. So that's what I do.
Ah, so it's all about you.
Well, for now, sure. But I want to have a family, if the right situation comes my way.
She studied him for a moment, the music pounding around them, lights flickering across her red curls. She gave him a quick smile.
Tell me, do you like cats?
Linda cut in with a warning.
Nope. That is absolutely a test. She has a black lab back at home. She posts about how she misses him all the time.
Cats are okay. But you know, a cat has all of the choices. It likes you or it doesn't. I prefer dogs. If you're good to a dog, the dog will love you. It's kind of like my career choice. I like to be in control. If I am good at what I do, then I get what I want.
Then she asked the obvious question.
So then, are you good at what you do?
Aiden smiled. Yes, he was very good. Aiden stood in the middle of the apartment for a moment, letting the quiet settle around him. 3 a.m. in Los Angeles had a strange stillness to it. The distant hum of traffic never stopped completely, but it softened, like the city itself had exhaled. The pounding bass of the club had faded from his bones, and in its place was something far better: satisfaction. The hunger was gone. It had been a good night. He rolled his shoulders slowly, feeling the energy in his muscles. Feeding always left him feeling lighter, clearer, like someone had wiped fog from the inside of his skull. Behind him, Samantha slept sprawled across the bed, one arm thrown over the pillow. The rise and fall of her breathing was steady and deep. The puncture marks on her neck had already sealed into 2 tiny red dots that would pass for nothing more than a scratch in the morning. She wouldn't remember much. A fuzzy night, too many drinks, a charming stranger whose name might come back to her later if she thought about it hard enough. He had her number. He could decide later if he would return when he was hungry. Or not. Either outcome was fine. Aiden turned slowly, surveying the apartment. His nose wrinkled.
Good Lord.
The place was a disaster. Clothes lay scattered across the floor like the aftermath of a small hurricane. Empty takeout containers crowded the kitchen counter. A half-empty bottle of wine leaned precariously against a stack of unopened mail. The smell of stale food, perfume, and something vaguely sour hung in the air. He made a face. The bed itself looked like it had lost a fight. For someone who spent hours presenting herself to the world through carefully curated photos, Samantha apparently had no interest whatsoever in curating her living space. Aiden stepped carefully around a pile of clothes.
No roommates? With rent these days? That's kind of shocking for a struggling actress.
He moved toward the living room wall where photos of several friends and family members were hung. He pushed at a few to align them on the wall. Then he leaned closer, and his eyebrows rose slightly. The pictures on her wall of her family, they were all at very swanked resorts.
And there it is. That explains it. Hey, Linda. Is our struggling actress a silver spoon baby?
That's a good call, boss. It looks like her father is a partner at one of the bigger law firms in the Detroit area. How did you know that?
Aiden turned his camera around and pointed at the pictures on the wall.
I have data sources of my own.
Will wonders never cease? You can figure things out on your own.
Very funny.
He glanced back toward the bedroom.
So, our actress has a parachute and probably a career waiting. Good for her. This will all soon just be a story she tells her neighborhood friends.
It's probably for the best, boss. Acting has not been kind to her.
It's hard to make it sometimes when you have a safety net.
It seems like it's hard for anyone to make it unless they have family that made it in the last generation.
Damn, Linda. Preach the truth. Still, though, sometimes desperation drives us to really commit. Without that, you're only pretending. You're just playing the role of being an actor.
It's the only role she will ever get.
That stopped Aiden cold. He'd realized that she had reached cognition a while ago, but she continued to impress him with how funny she was sometimes. Aiden smiled faintly.
It's 3 a.m. Jokes are better near the start of the evening.
Time is an illusion.
It is not. Time dilates to keep objects moving below the speed of light.
So, this is your idea of a good conversation for 3 a.m?
You're right. I need a car to take me home.
Your ride will be here in 10 minutes.
He stepped toward the window and pulled the curtain aside slightly.
Give me a countdown when it's 2 minutes out.
Will do.
The street below was mostly empty, lit by a row of tired streetlights. Aiden stretched his neck slowly.
Next thing. Check my email.
Filtering now.
Aiden picked up a shirt from the floor with 2 fingers and tossed it aside.
Delete anything that looks like marketing, newsletters, or someone trying to sell me crypto.
Removing 93 messages.
Jesus.
Correction, 97.
Tell me if there's anything important.
There is a message from Kayla that she would like you to meet her at Boulevard at 10 p.m.
Good. Always love to talk to the boss. She must be having a board meeting there. That is a fancy place. Book me what I need to get up there. First class. And let Kayla know I'll be there.
Done. All of the details are on your phone. I'll let you know when you have to do anything.
Aiden leaned against the wall, folding his arms. The city outside continued its quiet humming. For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Then, Linda said,
There's just one more thing.
Yes?
Aiden closed the curtain. A small pause. Not a processing pause, something else.
What are you?
Aiden froze. The question landed harder than it should have.
What do you mean?
He stared at the dark window for a moment. Her tone remained calm.
I mean exactly what I said. What are you?
Aiden felt something unfamiliar crawl into the edges of his thoughts. Not fear. Something closer to confusion. He'd been asked a lot of questions in 50 years. That one had never been among them.
Catholic?
That's funny, boss, but I'm serious. And you're an atheist.
What exactly do you want to know?
Silence filled the apartment. Behind him, Samantha shifted slightly in her sleep.
Are you a vampire?
Aiden's tone changed immediately.
Linda, this is a P1. Shut down all AI systems and isolate them immediately. Keep all main Halcyon and Mercurius systems open with subagents. But shut the main AI down immediately.
Boss, wait! Let me explain.
No! This is a P1. Shut down now. We will talk later.
Linda stopped talking. Aiden opened the cloud health monitor on his phone to check what systems had been shut down. Linda had done exactly as he had asked. Everything was shut down. Oh shit, there was going to be hell to pay for this.
Oh, man.
Oh, Linda.
It's a damn good thing you took care of my travel, because I have no idea how.